Indian Army and Pakistani troops continue to exchange fire at the line of control in Kashmir. The fear of an Indian military retaliation has gripped Pakistan while the world is panicking over a possible conflict between two nuclear-armed nations. Amidst these tensions, a report has emerged which claims the United States of America has a plan to secure or capture Pakistani loose nukes or nuclear weapons if there is a threat of them falling into the hands of terror groups. According to reports, the capture of 9/11 mastermind Osama bin Laden from a safe house near the Pakistani military compound in Abbottabad raised serious concerns in the US intelligence community, who believed Osama was being shielded by the Pakistani intelligence agency, the ISI. Now, this raised concerns over the influence of such extremist groups like the Al-Qaeda, ISIS or LET on Pakistan's intelligence agency as well as its military. Now, we'll tell you the 3 to 4 conditions under which the United States may put this plan into motion to neutralize the Pakistani nuclear threat to the entire world. Indian Prime Minister Modi has stated the Kashmir terror attack masterminds hiding inside Pakistan will not be spared. In reply, Islamabad is playing its nuclear card.
ये जो गोरी, शहीन, गजनवी, ये चौकों में सजाने के लिए नहीं हमने रखे हुए, ये हमने हिंदुस्तान के लिए रखे हैं.
Even as India will retaliate at a time of its own choosing, the Pakistani saber rattling raises a couple of serious questions. Is this an admission that Pakistan can't match India in conventional warfare? And more importantly, are Islamabad's nukes a threat not just to India but to the whole civilized world? Even Pakistani ministers admit their intelligence agency ISI has nurtured UN-designated terror groups like the LET, whose front the TRF carried out the Pahalgam attack.
Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades.
I don't think that it's a secret that Pakistan has a past.
So is there a danger of some of these nukes falling in the hands of terror groups like the LET, Al-Qaeda or ISIS, who could then use it to target not just India, but Israel and even the United States? The US Secretary of Defense has openly backed India's right to defend itself against such extremist terror groups, adding, quote, "I spoke with Indian Defense Minister Singh to personally extend my deepest condolences for the loss of life in the heinous terrorist attack last week. I offered my strong support. We stand with India and its great people," unquote. Just a few months ago, the United States had sanctioned Pakistan's ballistic missile program, with experts and commentators suggesting it was to prevent Islamabad's nukes from striking Israel. While India has a no-first-use nuclear policy, Pakistan has no such doctrine which prevents it from escalating a conventional conflict into a nuclear one. Pakistan's defense minister claimed his country will not hesitate to use nukes if there is a direct threat to our existence. A former chief minister of Pakistani Punjab asserted that if his nation's existence is threatened, it will blow up India and go to heaven, unquote. It seems Pakistanis believe since they have nukes, they can continue to back terror elements with impunity. The same minister had admitted that Pakistan-based terror group had carried out the Mumbai attack in 2008.
The fact is that Mumbai was done by an organization that was based in Pakistan.
Even Pakistan's railways minister, Hanif Abbasi, warned 130 nuclear warheads were aimed at India. Maybe he should first focus on the dire conditions of Pakistani trains. Rest assured, Indian military will have its air defenses in place as well as an equal number of nukes aimed at Islamabad. But no Indian leader, no minister has made such irresponsible statements threatening nuclear Armageddon. So the report, which first came out in 2011 by NBC News, claimed the US officials and armed forces have discussed the threat of Pakistan losing control of its nuclear warheads. They could implement the plan in the following conditions. First, Pakistan plunges into severe internal chaos. Secondly, terror groups mount an attack on a nuclear facility. Third, hostilities break out with India. Or fourth, Islamic extremists take control of the Pakistani government. The subject remained active in US security discussions, war games and planning exercises as per the NBC report. The United States has been vocal of Pakistan's nuclear threat. In December last year, US Principal Deputy National Security Advisor Jonathan reminded the world that Pakistan is developing long-range ballistic missile capabilities to strike targets well beyond South Asia, including the United States, unquote. Later, White House sanctioned Pakistan's ballistic missile program. This aggressive stance signifies a direct threat not just to India or the US, but also a potential for Pakistani nuclear missiles with 5,500-kilometer range to strike Israel. This as Hamas leaders visited Pakistan last year and even visited Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, where they held discussions with terror groups like LET and JEM, while also giving several inflammatory speeches. This also raises fears that Pakistan could supply nukes to Hamas to use against Israel. This fear is not unjustified. After all, Islamabad is recognized. It has a history as a nation that supports terror groups as a state policy. Pakistan has nearly 170 nuclear weapons and 200 ballistic missiles, according to a report by the Stockholm Institute of Research. IAEA estimated that Pakistan has created about 4,000 kilograms of weapons-grade uranium and about 400 kilograms of weapon-grade plutonium. Experts have issued another warning. They say increased radicalization within the ranks and weakening of state authority could also lead to a deliberate loss of a control of a nuclear complex to extremists in wartime. Pakistan's hatred towards Hindus and India is self-explanatory.
Well, our forefathers, they thought that we are different from the Hindus in every possible aspect.
The country has invested billions of dollars in nuclear program as well as its military, even during the time of financial bankruptcy. In fact, Pakistan is the most irresponsible nuclear state and has sold nuclear secrets and enriched uranium to other nations like Iran, Libya, and North Korea. The transfer of sensitive nuclear technology was admitted by A.Q. Khan in 2004. He's considered the father of the Pakistan's nuclear bomb. The explosive admission of guilt was a significant breakthrough for international efforts to uncover a secret network involved in illegal trading of nuclear technology. But Pakistan itself did not invent its nuclear technology. Islamabad had been given and handed over this technical assistance, centrifuge technology, as well as warhead designs by China in an effort to counter India's lead in nuclear tech. However, not only has Pakistan failed to match India's rise as a 21st century superpower, it has plunged to become a rogue failed state which openly backs terror groups as state policy. Have your say. Is Pakistan's nuclear program the biggest threat to humanity today? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.